Yo, what's going on, guys? Crispy Flakes here. So NBA trade deadline rumor season is in full effect right now. It seems like every single day I'm seeing a ton of different players that could potentially get traded to different NBA teams for one reason or another. So for today's video, we're going to go through 30 players that could be traded before the February deadline. And I believe it's also going to give us like a good team that they could possibly get traded to. So I'm going to let you guys know if I think it's actually a good or a bad fit, and maybe if they should probably get traded somewhere else, or even if their teams should just hang on to them, guys. So if you want to do this with me, go down in the comment section below, hit that like button, man, and let me know where these players should also go to. Also, if you guys can please drop a like, would be greatly appreciated. All right, let's go and get going on this, man. The first one we have is Chandler Parsons. Best destination Detroit Pistons. Okay, best destination Detroit Pistons. This season averaging 3 points, 1 rebound, and half an assist per game. The only big reason the Pistons would do this is if they end up trading away Blake Griffin or Andre Drummond in the process, and they want a really big expiring contract. So for me, I'm for the Pistons. I'm all for them just completely going out there and rebuilding, hit the reset button. So yeah, if that means getting rid of a large contract and taking on Chandler Parsons for a season, I'm definitely more than willing to do that. Next up, we got Dewayne Dedmon, his best fit being on the Memphis Grizzlies. Okay, so Dewayne Dedmon is currently on the Sacramento Kings, getting paid like $44 million a season. And he just has not really been that good. Like, he was really good on the Hawks, and then he went over here, and he was just been really, really bad. So him going to the Memphis Grizzlies, I'm actually not a big fan of that. Because, for one, he's got like 3 or 4 years left on his contract. But also, number two, they already got Clark. They already got Jaren Jackson. They got Jonas Valanciunas. They got all these big guys already, where it's almost to the case where the front court is pretty much packed as is. So I don't really want a guy like Dewayne Dedmon going out there and taking minutes away from the developing players. They just don't really need him. He's not needed. I'd much rather see him go to a contender where maybe he's playing a little bit more motivated basketball. One fit I can kind of think of off the top of my head would be like the Boston Celtics. I feel like he might be a pretty good backup center for that team, being able to throw some shots back, but also shoot the three-point shot. Well, if he can continue like he did last year, because right now he's only shooting like 22%. It's not good, man. It's definitely not good. Next up, we got Courtney Lee. This is a name I have not heard in a very long time. Best destination, Detroit Pistons. Why can't we have, like, Luka Doncic or something? Like, why not be Courtney Lee and Chandler Parsons? But no, when it comes to the Pistons, yeah, they need more depth. And the reason they need more depth is because they are like a top 5 team as far as injuries go in the league. It just seems like, we're to the point where the lineup now includes Tim Frazier and also a 19-year-old Sekou Demboya, who's not only the youngest player in the NBA, but also if he was in college, he'd be like one of the youngest players in college basketball. So yeah, they definitely need some more veteran leadership out there. Maybe not necessarily to win games, but just to give them some quality minutes and really help out the young dudes out there too. All right, next up we got Dennis Smith Jr. I really hope this guy gets traded. This guy needs another chance, man. And this is the best destination being the Minnesota Timberwolves, averaging 5 points, 2 rebounds, 2 to 3 assists per game. I am somebody that fully believes in Dennis Smith Jr., and I actually think the Timberwolves are a no-brainer fit. I mean, they have Jeff Teague currently on the T-Wolves, and while Jeff Teague is fine, he's not really going to get any better. He's not going to, Jeff Teague is definitely past his prime. They're better off trading him away to a contender and trying to get like a second-round draft pick or something on him. But with Dennis Smith Jr., you get some promise. You get a guy that maybe just with the change of scenery can return to the type of rookie he was. I believe he averaged around like 20 points per game or something like that his rookie season. The guy has athleticism off the charts. I feel like him with Karl-Anthony Towns would actually be a really deadly pick and roll, pick and pop combo. And then of course you have him combined out there with Andrew Wiggins too. It just seems like a nice fit. It's a low pressure situation, but also you just have better players around him too that I think would just mesh really nicely. Next up, we got Kent Bazemore, who's averaging 8 points, 4 rebounds, and 1 assist per game. His best destination being the Cleveland Cavaliers. So, I know he's only like 6'4 or 6'5". I typically don't like guys that short playing the small forward position. But, if he went to the Cleveland Cavaliers, chances are that's probably the spot he would play at. And yeah, he would go out there and give them some wing depth, something that the Cavaliers definitely do lack. And long story short, he's going to score the basketball. They're not going to get in the playoffs because of Kent Bazemore, but at least it's a nice player to add to the team and just kind of he's not like a missing piece. He's just a piece to the long scheme of things that is the Cleveland Cavaliers. Also, by the way, shout out to Dante Exum. That guy had like 26 points the other night. Absolute beast. Next up, we got Jae Crowder, best destination being the Dallas Mavericks. I actually really like the idea of this at that playing the small forward position, or even they want to go more small ball, they can go Kristaps at center and Jae Crowder at the 4 spot. This man just hit an absolutely lights out game a few days ago for the Memphis Grizzlies. I forgot his exact stat line, but it was looking really good. But you look at his all-around game right now, man. 10 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists. He just seems like one of those Dallas Maverick type dudes, because the way the Mavericks are built right now is obviously it's, what Luka can create for everybody else. It's Kristaps Porzingis, but then it's just a whole bunch of really good, hardworking role players that know their role and they know how to win games. And I think Jae Crowder fits instantly into that. And, the other guy like Dorian Finney-Smith, who's like fine, but Jae Crowder, I think, just kind of gets this team a little bit closer to where they actually want to go. Next up, we got Alec Burks, averaging 16 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists per game. His best destination being the Philadelphia 76ers. Now, Alec Burks, let's be honest, man, the reason he is putting up these great numbers right here is because it is the Golden State Warriors. Pretty much, any sort of offense on that team is injured, or sometimes injured, or they have Draymond Green, right? No, I'm sorry, Draymond. You're okay, Draymond. You're okay. I mean, you're not really Steph Curry or nothing like that, but you do your thing. But regardless, Alec Burks is proving that he can be a pretty consistent scorer. The Philadelphia 76ers definitely need more shot creators. They need some more spacing, and just having a guy like this come off the bench, one game he might give you 3 points, another game he might give you 16 points. You don't really know. It's just that type of depth that really makes true long playoff runs come to life, because if you don't really have that depth, especially with a team that does have Joel Embiid that has a bad injury history, it's like you really want to get these guys out there that could just give you some consistent minutes and allow your stars to be on the bench and just everything doesn't go to hell. Next up, we got Davis Bertans, who's averaging 15 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists per game, and also like literally one of the best 3-point shooters in the entire NBA. I think he might actually have the highest percentage right now. I could be wrong about that. But yes, they have his destination being the Los Angeles Lakers. I mean, I could definitely see, I could see why it definitely makes sense. Maybe come off the bench, or even if you can play the small forward spot, that would help out a lot too. But regardless, because the thing about Davis Bertans is that he's a stretch big, right? Another stretch big that's on the team that's not really working out all that much is Kyle Kuzma. I mean, Kyle Kuzma's fine, but he's not playing as good as years past. So I don't know if there would be similar circumstance with Davis, but at the same time, you wouldn't really expect Davis to come out there and be as dominant as we were expecting Kyle Kuzma going into this NBA season. So I do like the idea of it. Do they absolutely need Davis Bertans? Probably not. I mean, there's a ton of teams out there that you can insert, give them big, tall, forward shooting man that can get you 15 points per game, and yeah, he's pretty much a good fit anywhere. I mean, it's the type of power forward you want. But yeah, coming off the bench would be a good look for him, though, really for any team. Next up, we got Derek Favors averaging 9 points, 10 rebounds, 2 assists per game. Best destination being the Dallas Mavericks. I actually like that fit a lot. I feel like him and Kristaps Porzingis would work out nicely. Derek Favors did have a very slow start to the season. A big part of that was injury, but he was a big reason last year why the Utah Jazz were one of the best defensive teams. I think they actually had the number 1 rated defense in the entire league last season. So you put on the Dallas Mavericks. I did not really like him alongside Rudy Gobert just because spacing-wise it didn't make sense. But you let him play the center spot. Kristaps, who can stretch the floor at the 4. It just makes sense, man. I like the fit a lot. So yeah, that's definitely something they should go for. Next up, we got Marcus Morris, who I believe is the leading scorer for the New York Knicks. Best destination, Houston Rockets. Yes, that is... Wow, he actually fits in perfectly with that team. I would probably want to start him, and I know that guys like Gerald Green are out for, I think, for the whole season. I don't know, the Houston Rockets have had quite a few injury issues this season, but whether you want to use Marcus Morris as a starter off the bench, really could work out either way. I would probably, because I don't really like Marcus playing small forward. I like him more at the power forward spot, but if you're doing that, then, a guy like PJ Tucker, you're kind of running him out of the position. So maybe if they want to go like Marcus Morris at the 3 and go with PJ Tucker at the 4, or vice versa, that would work out. Or maybe I doubt they want to bench PJ Tucker. Regardless, I mean, he fits somewhere on the team. It's just, position-wise, how exactly do you work it out? And chances are they would need to trade somebody away anyway, maybe like a Daniel House to get Marcus Morris. So if you're trading away Daniel House, then you're obviously probably putting Marcus at that starting 3 spot. Next up, we got Jeff Teague, who we did talk about a little bit already. 14 points, 3 rebounds, 6 assists. He's having a really nice season. It's just not really leading to success for the Timberwolves, so no point in keeping him around. His best destination being the Denver Nuggets. No, this doesn't really make much sense to me at all. Big reason being is because, for one, they got Jamal Murray, who they just signed to a max contract, and number 2, they have Monte Morris, who probably isn't playing as good as last year, because last year he was like the best backup point guard, but he's still a guy you can trust. Jeff Teague just doesn't really make much sense for the Denver Nuggets. So if I could see him going anywhere, I mean, the Lakers, it just seems like it's easy to say the Lakers for anybody, but like the Lakers are a team that's looking for a scoring point guard that can get others involved. That's literally Jeff Teague. I mean, he would come on this team and just be that veteran type of guy that could either start games or come off as a 6-man, do either one of those roles, and be absolutely perfect. I think he needs to go to the Lakers. Next up, we got Aaron Gordon, best destination, San Antonio Spurs. When you look at Aaron Gordon, very disappointing this season. I mean, I'm hoping that now that Jonathan Isaac is out for like 2 months, that Aaron Gordon can go out there and just be, a player like the player he once was and just have more opportunities. But at the same time, I feel like if he went to the San Antonio Spurs, he would instantly give them like this new spark in their youth movement that they have going on there, the DeJounte Murray, Lonnie Walker, and all those other great players out there. So, not to mention, I feel like if anybody could get the most out of Aaron Gordon, it would be Greg Popovich. The Spurs lack athleticism at times. LaMarcus Aldridge is playing a lot hell of a better basketball he was at the beginning of the season. DeMar DeRozan, I think Spurs fans are ready to kind of say bye to him, but Aaron Gordon just gets to go to a team that has a pretty good track record of success and developing players. Next up, we got Tristan Thompson, best destination, the Los Angeles Clippers. I mean, I like Zubac, and they got Montrezl Harrell. I don't think the Clippers really make the most sense. I'm trying to think of a team that really needs like a solid either starting or backup center. I mean, Tristan Thompson, once again, is another one of those guys that can go to a championship team and really play his role. I mean, he did it for LeBron James and Cleveland Cavaliers for quite a few years out there, man. So, man, what team could use him, though? There's really any team could. Any team that's contending could, that just needs another little lift at center. I just don't think the Clippers are one of those teams because their 2 centers they already have are good. So there's no point in really getting Thompson. Andre Iguodala, we have once again the Los Angeles Clippers. I actually think this is the perfect fit because of the whole load management thing that Kawhi Leonard kind of has going on this season. Iguodala can come on the team, and when Kawhi Leonard decides to load manage a game, start Iguodala. He'll give you 28 to 30 good minutes. When there's games that their team's completely healthy, okay, Iguodala might play like 7 minutes, and that's fine. He's well rested, ready to go, can give you the good minutes when you need them. For JJ Redick, we got 15 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists per game. His best destination, the Los Angeles Lakers. Yeah. I mean, they have, because who do they start right now? They got LeBron that typically runs point guard, but they also got like Avery Bradley or KCP. I would typically take JJ Redick either, over either one of those players. And now KCP's actually playing great basketball. I believe since like October or something like that, he's shooting like 46% from 3. Absolutely crazy, man. But regardless, even if you want to continue to start those guys, bring Redick off the bench, and he will kind of be like that Kyle Korver, that Mike Miller, that Ray Allen for this new LeBron James potentially future championship team. Next, we got Steven Adams, Boston Celtics. Yep, I like the Boston Celtics fit. I like if you want to go to the contender, then you're looking at the Boston Celtics. For one, he's got really good chemistry with Enes Kanter, but he just kind of gives you that grit and grind type of guy at that center spot. He's not really going to change up the offense of the Boston Celtics and go out there and give you some good solid minutes. I also like the idea of perhaps the Sacramento Kings. I like the idea of the Atlanta Hawks if those teams do want to invest in a guy like this, because he's not old or anything like that, so he could still be part of a rebuilding team. Next up, we got Bogdanovich, best destination, the Milwaukee Bucks. Yeah, pretty much the same song and dance as JJ Redick. Just good sharpshooting player right there that you can instantly insert, and he's going to give you some great offense. Hassan Whiteside, best destination, Cleveland Cavaliers. Yeah, I mean, if they were able to get Kevin Love, I guess that would be cool. I think we're all waiting for Kevin Love just to go to Portland. And Hassan Whiteside, he's one of those players, this is kind of the sense I get from other NBA fans, where it's like he's putting up great stats, but they're empty stats. Where, yeah, they look good on paper, but they don't actually lead to wins or anything like that. So, because you look at this, it's like I look at those numbers like, damn, that's like an all-star right there. But if it doesn't lead to wins, then it just means it's really the same thing as Andre Drummond. You know, as a Pistons fan, I love Drummond, but Drummond puts up stats and does not lead to actual wins. So at that point, what exactly do you do? I think they go out there, trade Hassan Whiteside, and try to get some assets back for him. Next up, we got Serge Ibaka, best destination. The Boston Celtics, 14 points, 8 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 block per game, coming off a championship season, really coming off his best season last year. Once again, another guy you could put at that center spot, I think instantly fits in. Because, a similar guy where, I guess no, Serge is like 6'10", 6'11", because Daniel Tice is only like 6'8", starts at center. But no, I think Serge Ibaka just, I don't know, I just like his style of game, I guess. Next up, we got Julius Randle, Minnesota Timberwolves. Yeah, they need a power forward. They could probably get him for pretty cheap, I would imagine. But I'm kind of thinking like a lineup of, hopefully not Jeff Teague, hopefully Dennis Smith. Yeah, let's do like a double trade right here. Let's say Dennis Smith, man. Dennis Smith Jr., Andrew Wiggins, Robert Covington, Julius Randle, and Karl Anthony Towns. That's not bad. It's not a playoff team, but it's something to get excited about, I would say. Next, we got Danilo Gallinari, best destination, Portland Trailblazers. Yup, that third option type of player that Portland's really looking for out there that can give them about 20 points per game. It's not really a diva or nothing like that. He's going to go out there, play good basketball, play his role, and play nicely off Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum. Next up, we got Montrezl getting traded? What? Why would the Clippers trade him? It says that the Clippers may look to trade him as he'll be a free agent this summer and is likely to ask for a lot of money. Well, pay the man his money then. Like, I'm getting rid of Zubac before I get rid of Montrezl Harrell. No, but this is what you need to do. You need to re-sign Montrezl, and then you need to start him. Like, the whole coming off the bench thing's cute, but Montrezl can start, and he'll be great. He'll probably even put up better stats than that if he does so. The guy deserves it. Yeah, I'm not even going to acknowledge that. Come on, Clippers. You're going to keep that man. Okay. Goran Dragic, best destination, Dallas Mavericks. Yeah, he was actually supposed to get traded to the Mavericks, as we all know, and something happened. I don't know if somebody did pass like a physical or somebody pulled out of the trade or whatnot. But yeah, Jalen Brunson's cool. I know Luka starts at point guard a lot, so I feel like Goran, though, could either kind of take over some of those point guard duties and allow Luka to play more off ball, or really Goran could play off of Luka. Or maybe if they're really ready to make a big push in the playoffs and they think they can make a deep run, maybe they just don't think Jalen Brunson, who is a younger guy, is ready for that type of role on a championship contending team. So yeah, Goran just kind of gives them more depth. Drew Holiday, best fit, Miami Heat. Love this fit right here, just because he instantly fits into that grit and grind, Eric Spoelstra type defense and offense. Just a breath of new life for him, which could be great because, of course, the Miami Heat are a hardworking team. Drew Holiday is a hardworking player. I feel like him and Jimmy Butler, those two guys, I just think they would mesh well. I don't know what, man. I feel like they would have great respect for each other, and I feel like they would bring the most out of each other, not only on the basketball court, but just during practice and things like that. I think they would really challenge each other to be better every single game. Next up, Derrick Rose. Best destination, Los Angeles Lakers. I'm waiting for it to happen, guys. Yeah, Derrick Rose literally having his best season since his MVP. It says right there, since his MVP season. But no, man, Derrick Rose. I love my team so much, but I do want Derrick Rose to get traded away to a contender. He just, the way he's been playing, man, he literally puts the Pistons on his back. And if you could do that for a championship contending team, can you imagine LeBron James goes to the bench, D Rose comes in, and he just goes off for a quick 20 points? So that team is going to be even more unbeatable. Another good fit, obviously, I think would be the Philadelphia 76ers. Just teams like that, man, that just really need that extra scoring punch. The Lakers don't really need the extra scoring punch, but they would definitely take the extra scoring punch. And maybe I'll take Kuzma back in a trade. And I actually think it would be that worth that type of trade value because Derrick Rose does have a really, really good contract for his production. Next up, we got Blake Griffin. It says best destination, Charlotte Hornets. Well, I don't really know about that one, but regardless, it sounds like he's actually going to be out for the season with a knee injury. So, yeah, Blake Griffin is not going to get traded because he's injured. So, probably not going to happen. Next up, we got Andre Drummond. Now we just going for all my Piston guys right here. we got best destination in the Atlanta Hawks. I have an entire rebuild out talking about that trade, man, and really just talking about, you know, the whole rebuilding process of the Detroit Pistons. I actually want to do a rebuild. I just wanted to do this video today. But no, I think tomorrow I'll probably do a full-on Detroit Pistons rebuild. I'm just kind of waiting to see what type of things happen out there before I do that type of video. Just make sure no actual big moves really do happen. But yeah, Andre Drummond, best rebounding center in the NBA, combined with one of the best shooting point guards to Trae Young. Seems like a nice, deadly duo. Next up, we got Kevin Love, Portland Trail Blazers. Talked about this for like 4 years. It still hasn't happened. Good third scoring option. Okay. DeMar DeRozan, Orlando Magic. Yeah, this is kind of an interesting fit because the Magic are one of the worst offensive teams in the NBA. And DeMar DeRozan brings you offense just in an old school type of way. So while he's going to give you scoring, it still doesn't fix like the long-term issues of this team because I feel like DeMar with Markelle Fultz is just kind of a really weird fit and horrible for spacing. But I mean, if they want to like try something new from Aaron Gordon, I guess DeMar's probably not a bad way to go. Because the idea of like DeMar and Isaac when he's back healthy and Vucevic, it sounds interesting in the Eastern Conference. I'm curious how much, how interesting and how successful that team actually would be. And finally, we have Chris Paul, Philadelphia 76ers. Yeah, it seems like the 76ers, who are not playing good basketball lately, it just seems like the whole Joel Embiid, Ben Simmons thing, as much as we want it to work, it's not a perfect fit. Chances are they don't trade Ben Simmons, though I just will not trade Ben Simmons yet. But maybe try to do a trade for Chris Paul and use Ben Simmons in a different way. Maybe use Ben Simmons as a 4 spot, like kind of the Bucks do with Giannis Antetokounmpo. You can still run the ball through him, especially if you have Chris Paul on your team who can play off ball or on ball and be the ball dominant guard you need him to be. Regardless, I think that's a really good fit. So yeah, the 76ers, I would be all for that. Plus he gets to contend, having a really good season. His contract's ridiculous, but at least he's playing good basketball. So yeah, I'd be all for that one, man. But yes, that is all we got here, guys. That was 30 trades, kind of a longer video. Hope you guys all enjoyed it. Be sure to drop that like, subscribe if you're new to my channel, and peace out, my friends.